The police and the CPS are issuing these statements saying it wasn't a one-off tweet. There were further racist tweets found. Well, no, there weren't. You know, me calling my friend, a very good friend of mine, a derogatory name after he'd called me one first, that's just banter between friends, you know. If he's not going to take offence, why are you taking offence, you know?
Yeah.
And pointing out that, you know, a guy masturbating over children in the park is Somalian with a sick face because I feel it's quite sick. Again, not racist. But, you know, the police had got these, you know, and it's quite, I will release it at some point because it's quite funny to see. And the second interview, I was just laughing. And they asked me while I was laughing because I just thought, this is crazy. You've got, you know, a bunch of tweets with only my answers to. Conveniently enough, it says original tweet not available. So you couldn't actually see. That it was that.
There's no context.
There was no context to it. So you couldn't actually see that it was a video of that happening.
Yeah.
It just had my comments. You know, even the solicitor said at the time, you know, he's called her a derogatory name first. What about him? Well, we're trying, you know, and they were trying to get me to out him. That was never going to happen. Wasn't going to help them go after him as well.
Yeah.
And then that was it. They were like, well, you know, because it happened to be on Tommy Robinson's page, this video, they were like, do you know Tommy Robinson? My sister was just like, I think everyone knows who Tommy Robinson is. What's your point? Move on. You know, we're not going here.
Yeah.
But again, they were just desperate to kind of drag me into this, you know, far right label. You know, well, you know, you've put racist comments. You've said we're being invaded. Well, are we not? You know, how is that racist? That was another one of them. We're being invaded by people in boats. I'd put that. Is that not something people say often? Is that not things we hear politicians on the TV saying? I think I watch that on GB News regularly, people saying that. You know, again, completely taken out of context. You know, if you were a hardcore lefty and just wanting to look for trouble, that you might take something out of that. But honestly, they were just absolute nonsense. And, you know, then they obviously made these statements that they'd found further racist tweets before and after the offending tweet.
Had they?
No, absolutely not.
So they lied?
They lied.